Hello. Oh, I was answering stuff in Discord. Who's that from? Thank you, Sunnyside. I set a goal, you all, just because I've never done that before. How come I can't see the chat? Can y'all hear me? Here we go again. Somebody just write if you can hear me. Hello, Ninja Orchid. Hope you're having a beautiful day. Good, you can hear me. Good. Ninja Orchid, I went back and put a couple of your videos and played them through the night while I slept just to get your views up. I thought I don't know. I think it's the thing to do. Good morning, Don Marie. Yeah, I've never done the goal thing. So I set a goal. I can't see it on this end, but hey, Lindsay Lee, I didn't think many people would show up because, it's like church time and we all know how godly we all are on here. Hello, Mrs. Fletcher. Hello, Fawn Response. Damn it. Why can I only see one chatter at a time? I don't like this. Oh, look at me. I got my big. Hope a bunch of people grab that screen share. Did y'all see me? My headband on? I can only see one person in chat right now at one time. Hello, Mrs. Lee. Hello, Sarah. Why is that happening? That ain't the right button. No, it showed the top of my head where I've got my Bluetooth headband on because I get up in the morning and wash my face, brush my teeth. I always put this headband on. So, because I don't want YouTube like blasting throughout the house. I watch some crazy shit on here. I don't want that blasting throughout the house. I'm really pissed. I can only see one comment at a time. Hello, Don Marie. No, I don't want to do that. I'm scared to push buttons. Oh, well, guys. Hello, Brantley. Like I said, I can only see one comment at a time. I don't know why that's happening. What does what normally look like? My head? Oh, um, usually I can see several of your all's comments. Close this one out and start a new one. Really? Dang, Sarah, that sounds like a lot of trouble. Especially since I just came on here full screen. I'm on my phone. Guys, you all know what happens when I start hitting buttons, okay? Y'all know. So we're just going to roll with it like this. And I'll just see one comment at a time. Because I usually get to talking and don't even watch the chat, anyways. But I came on here because, okay, so I went live yesterday. I addressed Laura for saying the shit, using the words dying kid, referring to Tiffany's son. I think that's gross. I think that's horrible. I still stand on that. Nothing's changed, you know. But I think people on here have a hard time understanding that two things can be true at once. Yes, Sarah. you know and Laura's like, where was all the outrage when Tiffany Marie was accusing me of faking cancer? um Tiffany Marie did do that. True. I did go live and address Tiffany Marie, and I will stand on it today that Laura did not fake cancer. I saw her reports. I saw the port they put in her chest. I saw her Anka score. I saw it all. Laura did not fake cancer. So if Tiffany is still hanging on that, that's a Tiffany problem. But it was addressed. And if you remember correctly, there was a cancer war going on between Laura and Alicia, which is kind of what caught my attention this morning because it popped up. Tiffany's community page popped up on my feed, and Tiffany is promoting go sub up to Alicia's new channel. I don't know, what are we on? 149th channel, which, okay, she wants to promote Alicia's new channel. No problem. Hey, Zero. I'm figuring you're in the chat. Somebody just said hi to you. I'm only seeing one comment at a time, and right now I'm looking at Mrs. Fletcher's. So she wants to promote Alicia's new channel. Okay, whatever. But then she wrote, go listen to her. She makes a lot of sense. Tiffany, girl, you really want people to believe that Alicia makes a lot of sense. Hey, Melanie. Girl, this is the same Alicia who said you must be the unknown clone Capone troll because her and Makeup Mobster were tracking your email address and you happened to open your email at just a precise time, which means you were the clone. This is the same woman, Alicia, who was in a chat and somebody wrote SMH, shaking my head. And she started screaming they were doxing her job. So you can promote her channel, but to say that she makes a lot of sense, no, Tiffany, no, she does not. Again, two things can be true at once. And what was true was Alicia and Laura were in the middle of this crazy cancer battle. And there was things that Alicia said that I questioned. I sure did. Hello, Diamond Cutter. Right, Sarah? But there were things that Alicia said during her journey that I questioned. I never questioned whether she had breast cancer or not. I questioned some of the things she said, like when she got up on Queen Bee's panel and said she had the same cancer as Angelina Jolie. Angelina Jolie never had cancer. When she got on Queen Bee's panel and said she was doing chemo, or she hadn't started chemo yet. She was in the early stages of biopsy and shit, but yet she was on a chemo pill. Yeah, I questioned it. I never questioned whether she had cancer, just like I never questioned whether Laura had cancer. Two things can be true at once. Laura is disgusting, says disgusting shit. And Alicia is disgusting and says disgusting shit. Both true. Laura called CPS on Leanna, who is obsessed with Laura. Both true. Leanna is obsessed with Laura and Laura's life, and Laura decides to call CPS in retaliation for Leanna's obsession. Both true. Alicia calls the Canadian police on Corey for Corey's obsession on Alicia. Both true. Hey, Cosmic. Guys, if I miss you, I'm not being mean. I'm really only seeing one comment at a time. Hello, Truth Seeker. Both things. It's like people really don't comprehend that two things can be true on this platform or in life in general. So when I saw that Tiffany promoted Alicia's channel, okay, not a big deal. But to say go listen to her, she makes a lot of sense. This is Alicia we're talking about, Tiffany. The only reason you did that is because all she talks about is Laura. Both true. Both things are true. Laura's sitting over there. Yeah, I didn't watch Tracy the Truth, but those are all of my ex Patreon. Laura, if they're all your ex Patreons, all your ex supporters, and they all left you, maybe you're the problem. Both true. I do have a chat that consists of a lot of Laura's ex supporters, not because I sit on here and bash Laura daily. But I mean, that part is true, Laura. I know, right, Cosmic? She makes a lot of sense. What a lie to try to pull over on people. I couldn't believe when I read that. I was like, Tiffany, are you kidding me? You are going to push people to a channel that probably won't even be up 2.5 weeks and tell them that the person who thinks you're a troll, because according to her, her and Leanna tracked your IP and saw that you opened your email at a particular time. This is the same woman who spent an entire work week, 40 hours, looking for a swimming pool. A swimming pool to try to find somebody. Oh, it can't be. It can't be her. Her pool is shaped like a kidney bean. But she makes a lot of sense. Tiffany, girl. I can pray for Tiffany. I can pray for her son, and still know that that community post is bullshit. Both can be true. Both can be true. And I really think people have a hard time with that, that mindset that two things can be true at the same time. Two people can be in the wrong, two people can be in the right. It I've never understood pick a side. It's YouTube. Yes, Cosmic, if you'd like to sub up to it, go over to Tiffany Marie's and get the link. I couldn't believe I saw that community post and I was like, Tiffany, are you kidding me? You want to promote her channel? Okay, I'll promote her channel. Go get it off Tiffany Marie's community post and sub up to Alicia. You'll get the same sense that Leanna gives you. It'll be like a blueprint of what Leanna has to say. Or you might get lucky and get a bathtub video like I did. But she makes a lot of sense, right, Tiffany? Tiffany, you only did that because you know that she's going to talk shit on Laura. Which in turn only feeds Laura's head. You know, this is Alicia. Alicia who took her prayers back for my brother. This is Alicia who accused me of using my brother's cancer to trump hers. Do we not remember all of this? Very irresponsible, Cosmic. Very. But hey, I mean, it's so see through. It's like when Laura supports Corey, but then Corey comes back and says something. Well, usually Corey says something horrendous. I mean, that's just Corey. But then Corey comes back and says something against Laura, and then all of a sudden you don't support her anymore. Why? Because she said something that might have been true. Hello, Bombs Crafting with Amanda. Corey, who I just don't dabble with anymore because, I mean, I did go over there and pinch her a little bit over the whole Charlie Kirk shit because she's so interested in American politics that it just, you know, I just wanted to talk to her about it, but she only gave me TikTok videos. What I heard her say in her videos today is like, how do you sleep at night, Corey? Upside down from a rafter? But that's Corey. I firmly believe in the saying that hurt people hurt people. And I feel like Corey is a very hurt person. And that's why she says the shit she says. Because I can't imagine her believing any of that. Laura, on the other hand, I don't think has the capability of really being hurt by internet people. So she says the shit that she says because, you know, it's Laura. A lot of people don't even know the situation. This Cosmic. Damn, I missed you, Cosmic. You know who else I was thinking of this morning? Don't ask me why. But who was the troll guy that Marianne and all of them all hung around with? You know, the one that was going to package COVID and send it to me with a bow on it. What was his name? Remember? I wonder if he's still around. Oh, what was his name? 180. Yeah. I don't know why, but I thought of him today. Probably because I was thinking of the whole scenario that two things can be true at once. And 180 was definitely if he's gone, if he's moved on to paradise or whatever, God rest his soul. If he's still here, I hope he's doing okay. But this is a man that used to say the worst shit to me. But I still found him funny. Both true. I put up a little goal. If you super chat, because I want to see if it works. If you super chat and give us a scenario of two things can be true at once, we'll talk about it. Is Marianne still around? I don't know. I'm sure she's moved on to Gypsy Rose's offspring. If she's over there doing her thing with the whole Gypsy Rose thing, you go, girl. You go. But I listened to a little bit of Laura's live last night, who said she didn't even listen to me, which is fine. I don't care. Really? I'll have to watch that. Hello, Donna Baird. Oh, she was on Queen's panel a few weeks ago. Well, there you go. Another one that I can't. I just can't. Because she gets up and she gets on her panel in front of thousands of people and says that her daughter was doxxed. No, your daughters were never doxxed. You just lie to your people. Yeah, Sunnyside's always good to me. We can go back to that. We can go back to, two things can be true at once. On the whole Jones and Foy and okay, so Queen Bee said that she made a police report about the video of Brittany J's kids. Joneson went and pulled a FOIA, which showed no such police report, but it happened to have other things. Joneson was wrong for doing the FOIA. That part is true. But what's also true is that Joneson did not dox Queen Bee's daughters. Two things true. Two things true. Same time. I know it's hard. It's hard. But exactly, Donna. Laura goes on and on about how people's GoFundMe's are frivolous, and that's okay. That's true. But then she doesn't, then she goes and makes a GoFundMe for a very frivolous reason. And that's what Tiffany kind of touched on yesterday. And again, Tiffany was not mean or aggressive or anything like that I heard of. I dipped out kind of early. Hey, Dova. But from what I heard, Laura swears she never questioned. Oh, I ended it, Lisa? Okay, that's okay. I'll do it another time. But I know, I haven't seen Dova in a long time. She's hanging out somewhere. In order to believe that two things can't be true, we all have to kind of live in a Republican ash kind of world. And I refuse to do that. I've never lived in that kind of world. I've always been able, let's go back to the whole Kiki thing, with the collecting money for Jonice. I never believed for 1 minute that Kiki scammed Jonice. I never said that she did. That part is true. But Kiki also went live and made a total fool of herself. That is also true. Hey, Michelle. When I got drunk at the wedding and went up on Laura's panel and made a total fool of myself in front of Laura, Leanna, and John Crimes, that part is true. When I said things I should not have said, that is true. But the fact that I did not drink and drive, and everybody wanted to put that out there in the universe because I was actually sitting in a vehicle. The fact that I did not drink and drive, that part's true also. You know, two things can be true. I can be wrong, and what was going on that panel can be wrong. Again, I can't believe all of this just kind of like hit me this morning with Tiffany Marie's little bitty community post saying that Alicia, go watch Alicia. She makes a lot of sense. I can attribute a lot of things to Alicia, but sense is not one of them. Okay, Lisa, back off, back off. I get it, I get it. All right, number one, free the carrots. I don't like your name because I know what it's in referring to, and I never liked that whole carrot thing. But yeah, Tiffany is being petty as fuck. True. Laura's gross as hell. True. Tiffany being petty as fuck. Also true. Also true. And like I said yesterday, I know the people that have left Laura's support, and I know how they feel. And I talk to a lot of them. That's okay, Lisa. You can tease. I talk to a lot of them. I just don't set in chats that talk Laura, 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 Laura. I don't want to hear about Laura every day. Laura wants to hear about Laura every day. And I refuse to give her that. But I get it. I get it. I don't get Leanna's obsession, makeup mobster's obsession with Laura. I don't get that because the obsession started long before she knew who called CPS on her. If it would have just kicked off when she found out who made that CPS call, because the CPS call wrong. Nothing that Leanna could say should prompt involving CPS in someone's life. Just like, in my opinion, nothing that Corey should say should involve the Canadian police in her life. Now, I know some think one is worse than the other. I get it. In my opinion, both wrong, both true. Yep, Laura lives off haters, and haters live off her. They need each other. You're right, Cosmic. You're right. Hey, Sada. Okay, Sada, but and I agree what you're saying. Sada said I would drag Laura daily. Okay, hold on. I would drag Laura daily if she ever called CPS on me. Laura got easy with Leanna. I agree with that. Leanna did nothing with the information that she had. I know there's nothing that they could really do about it, but I would have at least notified my local child protective services and said, look, this is obviously a call over YouTube and it came from this person. So that's what I would have done. I know there's nothing that she could do with. Let's see what the super chat said. See, I don't think Leanna gets a lifetime pass because Leanna was a bitch long before the CPS call. My biggest issue is Laura not owning it, in my opinion. She made excuses and acted like she deserved it. No, no one deserves that. That no one deserves. Thank you for the super chat. No one deserves having CPS called on them. Yes, Michelle, she still goes live. Now, I don't think she goes live every day, but every time she goes live, it's about Laura. And I don't think Laura got off easy because Laura lost a lot of support when that came out. Right, though, but I'd be pissed too, but I'm calling CPS on you. I mean, somebody said Laura got off easy, short of going to jail, because what she did was illegal. Laura lost a lot of support over that, which is why now she has all the Brittany J haters over there, and she can spin a whole new web of Laura. Yeah, at some point you do need to see a therapist. You know, I jumped up on Randy and them's panel the other day. It is illegal. Laura is a local and MM. See, I see Makeup Mobster actually being obsessed with Laura and Laura's life because I go way back before the CPS caller was identified. And to be honest with you, I quit watching Leanna when every single live stream was about Laura. I mean, I'm just not interested. It's not to say that 150, 160 people, whatever kind of crowd that Leanna draws now is not. Obviously they are. They're there every time she hits the live button. That's Laura though, Donna. I mean, when has okay, Laura started off defending BJ. And then all of a sudden, Laura saw where it was more profitable to go to join the BJ hate train. Again, two things can be true at once. BJ can be a freaking nut. And I, I lost my train of thought. She switched for defending BJ to calling her a drug addict. Okay, I don't like the whole drug addict thing. I don't like it. I don't like it. If you're not reaching out your hand to help that person, then why? Why sit on a panel? And Laura's not the only one guilty of this. Many of channels are going at Brittany about being a drug addict. Laura's so irrelevant now that no one reacts to her, so MM has to do it. I don't agree with that, speak truth. I mean, I do agree with the fact that she's irrelevant, but I'm not going to just overlook the fact that MM has been talking about Laura for years prior to the whole CPS thing getting exposed. It doesn't eliminate Laura's responsibility for what she did. Two things can be true at once. MM is obsessed with Laura and Laura's life. And Laura broke the law and any code of any decency that she may have had. I don't know. I haven't found any in Laura by calling CPS on her. Again, two things can be true at once. But somehow Laura finds a way to be the grossest about it. Yeah, Laura always finds a way. Always finds a way. I don't think she has to look very hard. I think it's who Laura is. You know, the whole time I was in Laura's support, I made excuses for the things that Laura said. I was one of those people that did not realize that two things can be true at one time. I was one of those people who went around saying, yeah, Laura said that, but there is no but. Hey, Marlena. Well, Laura talking about the CPS call doesn't do anything but keep it in the spotlight. I'm definitely not minimizing it. Again, I feel like Leanna should have done something, taken some sort of action. I've had this conversation with other people who said not really a whole lot Leanna could do. Well, I would have gotten a printed letter from my local CPS office that said that I came in and reported somebody for false reporting me. Laura calling BJ out and demanding receipts for the GoFundMe just to start her own GoFundMe. Yes. See, again, both things are true. Both things can be true. And Laura sitting there on her live saying, well, you know, people can start lawyer funds and not show receipts and blah, blah, blah. Laura, you want, I don't know if she ever even started the GoFundMe. I know she talked about it. You want to do a GoFundMe so that you can go to fucking Vegas. No, Dova, she's not blocked in here. I'm blocked over there, but she's not blocked in here. Hey, sweet Caroline. Again, you know, we go back to Laura was a horrible person that's pretty well known. Right. It was 2 years later. And we can go back into that situation too. Because there were people that knew about that call. And until they got a hard on, that part is true. People knew about that call. But they didn't find a reason to do the right thing until Leanna, until they got mad at Laura. Two things true at one time. She stole cheesecake once. Now, Cosmic, I see the whole cheesecake thing. I watched Laura go into the live and pay Steph. Steph was on Leanna's panel, and Laura went in there and sent money to give to Steph over the cheesecake. So, yes, true. Laura did steal cheesecake, but it's also true that she paid the person back. Two things true. I watched as Laura went into Makeup Mobsters Live with Steph on panel and send money for the damn cheesecake. Fawn says it was Laura's responsibility to tell the truth, not those two women. Okay, it was Laura's responsibility to not pick up the phone, or in her case, go and buy a phone to do something illegal. But most criminals don't just say, because let's face it, if they hadn't have come forward, Leanna would never know who called on her. So I'll give them credit. That part is true. That part is true. If they had not have come forward, Leanna still to this day would not know who made that CPS call. She might think she knew, but she wouldn't know. But what's also true is if you have that kind of information and you really feel like it was a bad thing, do you sit on it until you get mad at the person that committed the crime and then you come forward? Also true. Yes, Sarah, some of the fights on here were so funny. Right, Sada. And maybe that's what I should have titled it, because I feel the same way. It's always strange to see how people are okay with such vile things someone does until they aren't. So I can look at something and say, yeah, yeah, that's wrong. That's dirty. That's filthy. That's grimy. That's Laura. Then I can look at somebody and say, but why didn't you come forward? If you've known this, why didn't you come forward? Whether she's your friend or not, what she did was illegal. And you just sat on it until you got mad. Both things are true. When you know what Laura does for revenge, you sit on it. Not me. Not me. I can honestly say for the time I was with Laura, I saw no real life bullshit. Oh, I saw shit talking. I saw people digging around trying to prove who somebody was, but I saw no real life bullshit. Because if I would have, I'd have outed it. Because I don't want to be connected to that. I don't want somebody to throw up DMs a year down the road and my name be in there. I'd have outed it. I'm going to get ahead of it. I've always said I won't let a motherfucker have anything to hold over my head on this platform, and I mean it. The mods that knew were going in Laura's chat threatening to release something. I'm guessing a CPS call way before. Well, here's the thing. Laura is so ridiculous. She's up on panels saying how bad calling CPS on somebody is. She's up. That's Laura. Laura's up on a panel talking about how bad it is to call CPS on somebody. And then her shit got outed. I'm still bothered by the who stole the necklace. Yeah, that was pretty crazy too. That was like a game of Clue. Was it Sin at the Hillbilly Hoedown at the motel with the candlestick? Good times, good times. Laura is the definition of loud and wrong. True, Sarah, true. That is true. That's why I could never listen to her true crime. Hey, Lab. No, I'm not going to sit here and say that all of Laura's mods knew about what Laura did. Hell no. No. Laura has her little particular group, or she did. I don't know if she still does. But at one time, Laura had her little particular group that, Laura's just a dumb criminal. You know, don't commit a crime and tell people about it. Because someday somebody's going to get a case of the ass at you and turn you in. I mean, first of all, don't commit a crime, especially against an innocent family. I mean, my heart always went out to Leanna's husband and child. They don't deserve that. They're not on here running their mouth. Leanna doesn't deserve it for just running her mouth, but they most certainly didn't deserve it. And they were crutch of what Laura said. Although Laura claims she doesn't remember what she said, I don't believe that for 1 minute. You take the time to go buy a burner phone and call CPS on somebody, you're going to know exactly what you claimed. But Laura knows what was said was so disgusting that she can't hardly even pretend to remember. Laura, stop. Exactly, Sarah. Turns out it was Skeeter down at the river float who stole the necklace. I do think Randy dropped that necklace in the river. A lot of us were pissed off at the time, but it was the hypocrisy about CPS. Yeah, you just don't do that. You know, it's like the dog whistling that everybody that's against Laura included, that's against Brittany J, they're dog whistling to have people come into that woman's life. Well, you know what? If you're not willing to help her, then shut your fucking mouth. Coming on here, you're and accusing people of being drug addicts and being bad parents. You're not doing nothing but encouraging people to pick up the phone and invite somebody into their life that is not really that I hate that shit. And I see it go on in so many. Hey, Remy. Right, Michelle? I kind of feel the same way, but whatever. I voiced my opinion on that a long time ago. Two things can be true. Laura low down, nasty hoe for calling CPS on somebody who's absolutely obsessed with her life, but all she does is talk shit on the internet about it. Block her. If she's using your content, strike her, but don't involve her family. But then people sitting on it, and not everybody. No way am I going to say that everybody that was in Laura's Patreon or her mods, or no, Laura had her little circle of friends. I'm saying that at one time years ago. I was part of that little close knit circle, and I never watched shit like that happen because I would have been the first one to say, I got to tell on you because if I don't tell on you, this is going to get out someday and it's going to look like I was complacent with it. So don't commit a crime and tell me about it. Okay. Because I'm going to have to out it because I ain't going to have no DMs come out years later and I'm sitting right there in the middle of it. Mm-mm. The worst thing you can do is to have shit people can hang over your head on this platform because they are going to out it. Now that's true. I Remy, I don't know why I have you blocked. Right side eye. But what Laura does is she refilters or she just runs through groups, you know. She'll jump on the bandwagon of whoever's being hated most on YouTube and she'll go through their haters and then they'll figure it out and they'll leave and then she'll go through, I'll be honest with you. I told you all there was a time when I thought Laura was the underdog. I came into this back in the before Chris Watts. And I thought, why are all these people going live about this chick? How bad can she be? So I joined her support and I don't really regret being a part of Laura's support because I met some really good people. But it was Laura herself that ran me off. It was not her chats. It was not her mods. It was not, you know, it was Laura herself. Her mouth is what ran me off. There were things that Laura would go live and say that I just couldn't get behind. Like, it was nothing but her mouth. No, I don't blame those ladies either, Fawn. No. The only one that has responsibility for Laura's CPS call is Laura. The people that knew about it, no. They're not responsible. No. Right, Zero. I met some good people at being at Laura's too. I'm like Remy. I couldn't sit on that kind of information. I'm not going to allow people to have shit hanging over my head. If I know something really, really dirty, no, I'm not going to go live and talk about shit talk in a mod chat or a Patreon or whatever. No. I'm not going to break out DMs and I'm definitely not going to try to pressure people to give me those DMs. I kind of always figured what's said about me behind the scenes is none of my business. But yeah, I'm going to snitch. I'm going to be the snitch. If you do something illegal and so morally wrong as to involve CPS in someone's life, I'm going to tell on you. I'm going to snitch. Did you hear the wonderful glowing no comment a stranger left for her? No. I didn't read her comments. Oh, the accidental doxing. Yeah, Laura's real good at that. How many times she's gone to pull up a stream or pull something up. I left after the Dave panel. When Laura went on the panel of Dave the fisherman. And now here's a man who said he would skull fuck her 15-year-old daughter. At the time, her daughter was 15. And Laura went on his panel and acted like they were like besties, and then offered up somebody's information to him. And then I went in and confronted Laura, and Laura lied right to my face. That was it. Done. Out of here. But you know what? I never paid to be in Laura's Patreon anyways. I never paid 1 cent to be in that Patreon. Ever. Laura said she was going to expose me with last year, come back and said I wasn't a doxer scammer or anything. Expose you, Remy? Yeah, see, there's a lot of things I can get over. I can move on from anything. And there's a lot of things that I can just, say, well, whatever. Okay, let's be friends again. Let's be internet friends again. I did that with Trisha, not Trish. But that didn't work out so well for me. But whatever. That's a whole nother story. But one thing you probably won't see me get over is if you come from my kid or you come from my family. Laura CPS rep. I don't know if TNT is still around or not. I have no idea. But you come from my kid or you come from my family, I'm probably not going to get over that. That's where I'm probably going to get a hate boner that's just never going to go down. Is if you come from my kid or my family. And I'm sorry, that's just my rules. And some people can get over it. Some people can look past it. Some people somewhere down the road can say, all right, I can move on. Not me. I still got a hate boner for Savage from how many years ago when she put my kid's picture on her community post because I was fighting with Jenny Jen Jen. No, I still ain't moved on from that. Still can't stand the fucking nasty ass hillbilly bitch. That's why MM has a hate boner. Yeah. At this point, MM has every right to have a hate boner. It was the years prior to that I didn't understand. I said when it came out that Laura was an MM CPS caller, all right, Laura, you just handed her the golden fucking platter, you moron. Now, if Leanna wants to go out and sit on a street corner with a sign with your full name and address on it, saying that you called CPS on her, she gets to do that. You just gave her that, Laura. I agree with that. True, Cosmic. Also true. I didn't understand the years prior to that. What it boils down to is all the dog whistling on here to get CPS called, to get police called, to, the whole digging Alicia spending 40 hours to try to dox some sparrow chick. I got to be honest with you. I found that quite comical. I did. I, I got a good laugh out of it. Thank you, Alicia. If Alicia hasn't given me anything on here, she has given me some real belly laughs. I will give Alicia that. I will never say Alicia makes sense like Tiffany Marie did in her community post. But I will give Alicia credit for actually making me laugh. Laura's shitty for what she did. Yeah, she's definitely shitty. But my whole thing is, I mean, there's just no way to justify what Laura did. There's just no way to do that. I mean, Corey can, but you just can't justify that. There's no justification. Just like I can't justify Alicia calling the Canadian police on Corey. You can't justify that shit. Was Alicia really afraid of Corey? Was she in fear of Corey? In my opinion, Laura did the ultimate. She shit where she eats because she depends on YouTube to pay her bills. I mean, she works, it's my understanding she has a job now other than her candle business, which is something else I've never done. I've never gone around trashing Laura's candles. I've never gone around trashing Makeup Mobster's candles or Alicia's candles or, I never felt the need. Number one, I've never had Makeup Mobster's candles or Alicia's candles, but from what I can see, they're nice. I have had Laura's and they smelled great. I wasn't impressed with all the dried flowers in it, but I'm just a simple kind of white candle person. I didn't pay for them. Somebody sent it to me. I I don't even remember who it was. Maybe Tinker. I don't know. Whoever it was, thank you if you're listening. I had a chuckle or two about the chicken legs. What chicken legs, Diane? I have been very fair to Laura. Thank you, Sarah, for saying that. I've been very fair to Laura. Now Corey, she turned against poor old Jonice. God rest her soul. She's an angel now. Because Jonice decided to forgive Diane. So Corey turns on Jonice. Two things can be true. Jonice could have a problem with what she feels like Diane did. And Jonice can forgive Diane. Again, two things can be true. Yes, I remember when she went live from the bathtub, Michelle. It was for me. I'm not one that want. Oh, the chicken leg candles. Oh, okay. The wax melts. I don't do novelty candles. Someone got me a candle last Christmas that is like Starbucks. It's in like a mug, a Starbucks mug. It's still got the cellophane wrapping on it, and it's in a Christmas decoration box somewhere. I don't do that shit. I don't do food candles. I like a clean white candle. That's me. Now the smells, but I don't want an ice cream sundae candle sitting out in my living room. I just don't want it. Obviously, they sell. I don't know. I haven't seen any of Laura's food candles lately. I don't really go to Laura's channel that often. But like I said, I just turned off my Netflix yesterday for a few minutes, picked up my cell phone, and saw where Laura was attempting to go live. I had earlier been in Tiffany Marie's where Tiffany was questioning the fact that Laura questioned her GoFundMe, but then Laura started a GoFundMe. I didn't hear Tiffany drag Laura or her daughter or their situation. So I was wondering, what can Laura possibly say? Well, leave it to Laura. Never ask yourself, what can Laura possibly say? Yeah, we had good laughs in the past. Hell, we thought looking for a pool for 40 hours was, although I still think is a little crazy, but we thought that was the, remember the poor lady that got doxxed that everybody said was Diane? And the woman had to come on to somebody's channel and say, look, I'm not Diane. Remember that? That poor lady had to come off Facebook or some shit and say, all right, guys, please, I'm not Diane. And I'm not saying that the old days, nothing bad ever happened or nothing bad was ever said, but it's so mild compared to today. Oh, you don't want shut the fuck up, jealous bitches burning in the. No, no. I do not want a candle burning in my kitchen that says cunt on it. Call me crazy. I might not have Tom Ford money, although I did get me a little bottle of his perfume the other day, and well, that's a long story too. But I got Better Homes and Garden money. I got Yankee money, and I'm yet to ever buy a candle that said "Shut the fuck up, you crazy bitches, and sit down," or "cunt." But hey, I'm sure there's a market out there somewhere. I don't know. Like I said, that community post made me think, can we not agree that Laura and Alicia, can two things not be true at once? They're both crazy. Neither one of them makes sense. So when Tiffany promoted that, I was, and she, promote away. I don't care. Every one of you go sub up to Alicia. I don't care. But don't say she makes sense. You did it to be you did it to be petty. I absolutely remember the bathtub video from Alicia, and I told her when she did it and addressed it to me, you will never top Ben's bathtub video. It just won't happen. No one will ever top Ben's bathtub video with that little statue, that little gold bottle of bubble bath of the Oscar award sitting on the side of his tub. No one will ever top that. I don't know, speak truth. I don't know. Ben pops in on rare occasions. I know he lost his father. I remember when that happened. I told him I was thinking of him. It's hard. God bless all of us out there that's lost our parents, and most certainly the ones that have lost them recently. You know who I'm talking to. Uh, I don't want to put your business out on front, but it's hard. You don't just lose your parents; you lose your best friends. You lose your lifelong security blankets. Even as an adult, your parents are your security blanket. It's where you go home to feel comfort, and it's hard. Remember when we used to think Ben was the worst thing on here? Remember when Ben used to and this is back when he drank, and it's my understanding Ben's been sober for a while now. But remember when Ben would go live and just say some outrageous shit? Remember when, remember when Ben was in his shed and Trisha, not Trish, called his house, and his dad answered. Yes, the drinking on the yes. Remember Ben's dad answered, and everybody thought, you know, and the fact that it came up her name. I'm not going to repeat it. I'm not going to redox Trisha. If you know her name, you know it. But and I don't want anybody to put it in the chat. But her name actually came up on the caller ID, and Ben still tried to say it was Brian. Oh my God, that was so funny. Remember all the shit we've all been. Yes, her name came up on the caller ID, and because they said it was Brian, and Ben's dad came in and said, somebody named Brian just called, and Ben was having a total come apart. But Trisha had no idea that Ben had a phone out in the shed. I remember we thought that was the most horrible thing in the world. You know, you go back before that, Diane sending a pizza to Trisha, not Trisha, not Trish, but truthfully Trisha. Oh my God, that's horrible. That's horrible. It ain't nothing compared to what goes on here today. Yeah, Ben just read out her name. Yeah, Ben said horrible things about Clary and her boyfriend and about a lot of people. And see, that kind of thing, I think God rest her soul. I love Clary. I didn't love Clary. I got to be honest with you. Clary was one of those people that I didn't like until I really got to know Clary. And Clary was the kind of person, whether she liked you or not, she stood up for what was right. And I admire that. We need more Clarys. Remember when those chats came out and you would have thought it was like the CIA? You had Mandy Bell and I don't know, was Mandy involved in that? Mandy's been involved in so much on here. But remember when the chats came out? No, and Starlight and them read them color coded, and they attach colors to people to lead you believe, like Laura was purple, and then they had like Tiffany blue, which would lead you to believe it was either Tiffany or Molly Golightly, and red, which would lead you to believe it was. You remember when they were color coded? Yeah, Mandy wasn't involved in the reading of those chats. We just never heard about them. We just never we never got over hearing about them after Mandy Bell found out about them. Those chats actually ruined some people's lives, and not the people that were in the chats. And they were, they were dumb. The shit was being said that shouldn't be said, but it was a bunch of women sitting around joking. Yeah, you probably shouldn't joke about stuff like that. And that goes right back to don't put shit in DMs that you don't want released out here. But I think a lot of people learned that from that. From that. Who's a pony now? I don't know. I just unblocked Ash274 the other day. I didn't know how to unblock her. I didn't even know she was blocked. I mean, she has 49 accounts. Remember, I got busted in my accounts. After that, I was like, nope, I'll never do it again. I'll never have an alt account. If you block me from your chat, I just don't get to talk in your chat. Because I am not good at having alternate accounts. Well, probably because of what I named them. Remember, I got called out on Diane's channel in front of like 900 people. And then I fessed up to the second one. They didn't even know about the second one, and I fessed up to it. I got my ass chapped that night. I got my ass chat. I found my way to this community when Laura was fighting about the gangbang definition. Oh, God. Yeah, it was a scandal. Remember when I first got Maggie? When I first got Maggie, and she was a puppy, and and now keep in mind, I did my research when I got my dog. She's a herding breed. That I mean, it's like a cattle dog and anything else. She Old English sheep dog, which is used for herding other animals. Herding, not hurting, herding. And she had bit down on my foot out in the yard. She was just a little bitty puppy. And I took my foot and I pushed her away, and she went rolling, she went tumbling. And Hello Starlight and all of them went live saying, Tracy kicked her dog, Tracy kicked her dog. They was going to put me in the PETA community and everything. Can I just say that my dog has a hair appointment tomorrow that costs $150, and she does it every 6 weeks? There is no dog spoiled more than my dog. I have never kicked my dog. I took my foot that her little puppy teeth were sunk into, and I rolled her across the yard. But I was getting dropped in the PETA community and everything else because Starlight and all of them went live saying, Tracy abuses her dog. I was like, you know what? That really stressed me out back then, too. That did. It wouldn't today because I don't give a fuck what people think about me anymore. I used to. But remember when that happened? When I first got here, Laura was defending her comments about Atlanta being too dark. Oh, yeah. When Laura didn't even know they were live. Tiffany and them set Laura up on that one. But Atlanta being too dark is so mild compared to what people say on here nowadays. But that'll take you over into a whole nother community. So, well, it not only was it a reflex, but that fucking hurt. That dog, I mean, Maggie bit down on my foot like she was hurting me. She was nipping at me. I mean, that poor dog, I drug around for 3 weeks while she clenched onto my bathrobe. Right, Sarah. Tiffany was loving that Laura said that live too. That was a setup. Well, it kind of took the heat off me for what I said to John Crime, so I was okay with it. I was like, okay, we can move on from me now. Hey, Cass. Oh man, that's remember. This just happened a few weeks ago. Remember we were me, Diane, Wendy V. A couple of us had gone. I don't. Well, Diane didn't go live. I don't think. I mean, she might have. She might have picked me. I don't know. But we were talking about having like some sort of like little reunion, and then Laura and everybody pops up. Well, I don't have any desire. Well, you weren't invited. I would have invited you, Laura, but nobody else wanted you. Uh, I don't want no part of that. I don't blah 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 blah. Well, you didn't get an invite. Don't worry about it. And I still think it would be fun as hell to do. I think it would be fun to have a panel of us old timers. And when I say old timers, I don't mean back in the days of before my time. I can only be so old. I mean, everybody has a starting point on here. And I wasn't around for a lot of the OG drama shit. I did watch The Porch. I used to love them. I heard Ricky passed away, you all. I don't know if that's true, but God bless that family. I used to love to watch The Porch. Not everything they said was politically correct, or, I'm sure they did their shit too. I don't know about it. But I used to love watching them. Yeah, 2019 and up. I loved watching Pam and Ricky. I thought it was funny. Funny. I didn't even always know what they were talking about, but it was still funny. I mean, Ricky, like I said, I've recently heard that he passed away. You know, God rest his soul, bless his family. But remember Ricky? Yep, yep. I was just waiting for him to ask for biscuits with mustard. Hey, sweetie pie. Yeah, they were funny. But back in those days, it was so mild and funny compared to today of people calling CPS, people calling the police, people uh, dog whistling to get people to call CPS. Yeah. I saw a clip of you and some others have a live on Halloween costume contest. Yeah, we did that once on Laura's. I love me some Artria. I hope she's doing okay. I know there was people. I know Leanna never cared much for Aratria, and I never really knew Aratria that well. I only knew her from Diane's chat, and she would always time me out. Her and there was another chick that would always time me out. I can't remember her name. And back then, getting timed out in a chat, the nerve. I mean, you could have 15 live streams just because you got timed out somewhere. Now, I almost look at it as if a badge of honor. If I got timed out, it's because I said something that struck a nerve. Not because I said something against TOS, not because I used a racial slur, not because, but I struck a nerve. So if I get timed out or blocked now, I'm winning. I love me some Aratria. Like I said, Nikki Lee. Oh God, me and Nikki Lee, whatever's happening in her life, I hope she's okay. Uh, Me and her, she here's the thing about Nikki. She always liked me, but it was against popular opinion to like me. Yes, I remember. I remember Laura was in full blown live stream, and then boom, it pops up. Your stream has been whatever due to Hello Starlight. Does it even do that anymore? Does it show you who shut your stream down? I don't know. Somebody shut my stream down. So Sarah was a secret fan of mine. I had secret fans, you all, that I knew nothing about. Hey, D Rod. I had people that I thought hated me and they didn't. They sat in Discord and said, I don't care what y'all say about the truth. I think she's kind of funny. Oh, BJ was struck yesterday and it said who did it. Ooh, who got her? I don't strike. And let me tell you why I don't strike. Okay. Um, the form that you have to fill out to strike somebody. Oh, Queen Bee got her. Brittany J. Michelle. Brittany, what is her name? Brittany. I don't even know her name. Queen Bee has some thin skin. For somebody who's got a voice deeper than mine, she's got some thin skin. It is too much effort, Cosmic. There is a form you have to fill out, and you have to know exactly what to put in each box. And it is way, way too much work. Way too much work.
No desire to do that. I'd rather just go live and call you out or prove you're wrong and move on. It's like when 180 was running around saying, "You never had cancer. You never had cancer." Okay, well, I had cancer before I ever came to YouTube. But to shut him up, I just dug in this box of paperwork that I had, found my diagnosis, marked out my last name, which has since been blasted everywhere. But back then, you tried to protect yourself. I always get gifted D-Rod to her chat too, and I don't participate in her chat. I don't go in her chat, so I don't know why I always get a gifted there. Hey, Lolo. You would think that you would need to participate in a chat to get a gifted membership, but obviously you don't. But the whole striking thing to me, Diane struck me one time. I've only ever had one strike against me, knock on wood. And it was Diane. And I tormented her in what was it we used to be in? Not Discord DMs, but what was it called that everybody talked in? What was it called? Good to see you too, Lolo. What was that called, you all? I don't know. Google Hangouts. Was that what it was called? I don't know. But I tormented the shit out of Diane. I was like, "You thin skinned motherfucker." And the strike didn't even like shut my channel down or hurt me or nothing. But I was like, I got my ass chapped when Diane struck me. And for no reason, I mean, I don't know why I was so upset with it. It didn't hurt my channel. It didn't bother me none, you know. But I tormented her ass. I was like, "You thin skinned motherfucker. You need to take that strike." And she did. She removed it. It was a privacy strike or something. I don't know. I think I said her last name. Remember when I used to go at Diane all the time? And now because I don't, Corey hates me. Which, what is today? Sunday. Corey might like me tomorrow. You never know. I don't hate anybody on here. I really don't. Even if like you went at my kid or my family or something at one time, nah, I'm probably never gonna forgive you. I'm probably always gonna rag on you every chance I get. But I don't hate you. When you yeah, I don't hate you. I don't hate Hello Starlight. I don't like her. Um, but I don't hate her. Hate is a strong word. It's not only a strong word, it's a strong emotion. It's just not worth investing. I don't think there's anybody on this earth that I hate. I don't think there is. I don't think there's anybody. Let me think. No, no, can't think of anybody that I hate. It's kind of like when people say I'm offended. That's really offensive. That offended me. I got offended by that. I don't think I've ever been offended, you all. Again, maybe I just don't know what the emotion of offended is, but I don't think I've ever been offended. I don't think. Maybe I'm confusing it with something. Whose channel's gone? I missed y'all in chat. Tiffany has made peace with many people these past 10 months. With all she has going on, she has chosen to move past all the old arguments. Nika, I agree. I agree. I don't have a. True. True. But you know what else is true? Alicia doesn't make sense. I mean, Tiffany can forgive whoever she wants. She can promote Alicia's channel, but don't send them over there saying she speaks sense. Very little that comes out of Alicia's mouth makes sense. I mean, would you come here? Would you come here to my channel to hear sensible stuff? No. But yes, I agree with you. Tiffany has probably let a lot of YouTube bullshit go. A lot on her plate. It's hard to focus on YouTube. You've got something going on in your life to that magnitude. I get that. You know, when I was dealing with my brother and I had shit going on YouTube, people demanding that I get into DMs. No, no, I can't. I'm busy. So I get that, Nika. Oh, yes. When my mom was called a whore. I still think that's offensive. There you go, Speak Truth. Thank you. Thank you for bringing that to my attention because I still think it's offensive. And Casing says it all the time. And I know she doesn't mean it offensively. She just says your mama's a whore. But Starlight only did it to piss me off. She didn't really think my mom was a whore. She only did that to make me mad. And it worked. Kudos to Starlight for that one. It worked. But that's what I'm saying. That shit just... Thank you, Speak Truth, for reminding me of that. But I don't even know if I was offended. Maybe I was. I don't know. Never liked Tiffany. Of course, you don't have to like somebody. I'm just surprised after your heartfelt yesterday that meant so much to be doing this today. If Alicia has supported her, what am I doing today? I'm not dragging Tiffany Marie. Nika. I'm not dragging Tiffany. Here we go. Back to the two things can be true at the same time. Perfect example. And I'm not getting on you, Nika, but I'm most certainly not dragging Tiffany. And my live from yesterday still stands. That it still stands. I still think what Laura said was gross and totally took Tiffany's live out of context and made it something it wasn't. I still pray for Tiffany and her son and always will, and wish nothing more than to see Tiffany come on here someday soon and say that his treatments are, you know, it's over. He beat it. He won. I'm looking forward to that day. Okay, Tiffany says, I couldn't type before, but now I can. There are people on here I would never imagine in all my life would show grace. Alicia has been there for David and I since before this ever came to YouTube. And I am so glad to hear that, Tiffany. And I'm glad Alicia can lay down the swords and be there for your time of need. I think everybody should be able to do that. Apparently, Laura is not able to do that. Again, it doesn't change the fact that I think your community post saying Alicia speaks sense is ridiculous. Because of all the things I could say about Alicia, and I've complimented her in this live right here. The only compliment that I can really find for Alicia is she has made me laugh on here, and I love laughing. So there you go. But you know what? Even when I thought Alicia was one of the worst people on this earth, I still prayed for her. I still wanted to see her become victorious in her fight but you know what, Tiffany Marie? I still wanted to see Laura become victorious in her fight. And her fight was real too, Tiffany. I saw the proof. I told you this back when you were saying that she faked cancer. I told you. I saw the proof. I would love another bathtub video, Sunnyside. I would love for Alicia to do it, just do it all over again. Just talk to me about something else. Get in your tub, Alicia, light your candles, put the soft music on, and do a bathtub video to me. Hey, Sin. I'm bring back Claude. I just don't understand what goes through people's minds. David needs all the love and support. Yes, I agree. And I appreciate every single person who has shown him love. There are hundreds. Yes. I hope there's thousands, Tiffany Marie. I hope that, you know, but by the same token, I felt like Laura needed support too when she was going through her cancer. And I mean, the truth is the truth. You were up on your panel saying she didn't even have cancer. The same thing was happening to Alicia. People were up on panels saying she didn't have cancer. Again, the whole theme of this live is two things can be true at once. Hello, Stellar. I mean, I'm sorry. I may think that Laura is just like the scum of the earth. I'm not saying that I think that, but I could think that, and I might think that. Y'all ain't got to know everything I think, but I still believe she deserves support during her cancer. I don't take that away from anybody. I don't believe Laura. I'm sorry for not believing her. No one has ever endured cancer, could do or say. Well, she did. Okay, I did. I saw her reports. I saw her Onca score. I saw her port placement. I saw where she was losing her hair. Tiffany, I'm sorry, but you're wrong. You cannot believe her all you want, but I'm telling you, I have no reason to lie for Laura. If Laura scammed having cancer, I would be the first one to say, see, Michelle thinks Tiffany's adores Tiffany and thinks that Alicia's crazy. Exactly. Fuck cancer. Thank you, Sunnyside. I don't believe in people saying it's your karma. Cancer is not karma. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend like that Alicia has sense either. Sorry, Tiffany. It's okay that you think she has sense, but we don't all have to agree with that. And there is nothing wrong at all with you promoting her channel. I just found it comical that your community post said she speaks sense. Since when? Okay, Tiffany, I'm just going to say this. I saw the proof. Okay. I saw the proof. that Laura went through cancer. And I could just despise Laura. I could just, just and still not jump on that bandwagon. To be honest with you, at this point, I think you're trying to get a rise out of Laura, and you probably will. And Laura's going to say one of the sickest things she can say, because that's Laura. And but I saw, hey, Captain Abby, speaking of which, how are you doing? Yes, Laura can't eat shit, but I'm telling you, you're wrong, Tiffany. I'm telling you, you're wrong. And what I hate about accusing people of faking shit like that is you kind of get into the boy who cried wolf thing. And I don't have to like Laura to sit here and admit that I saw her paperwork. Right. Laura and Alicia both had cancer. And by the grace of God and modern medicine and everything else, they both beat it. And I think, I don't, I love that outcome. I love that outcome. And I'm going to love it the day that you come on here and you say that David beat the shit. It's a monster that nobody, I don't care what you've done on earth, nobody deserves. Well, I'm telling you, Tiffany, I saw more than just her paperwork. Okay. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and argue with you over whether Laura had cancer or not. I know she did. And to say that she could have a port put in for any reason, why would somebody who doesn't even really believe in doctors go and have a port put in her chest? I saw it all, Tiffany, because I tried to convince her to just show it, just put it up and show it. And she told me to go fuck myself, that she doesn't owe anybody an explanation. And in reality, she doesn't. Right. Both Laura and Science Girl overshared. Exactly, Cosmic. And it was ridiculous. And it was a battle between two women who were fighting a battle that should have never been. Whose cancer is worse than whose cancer? Who's got this kind? Who's got that kind? Who's more likely to survive it? Who's doing what? Who's taking what pill? It could have been a time, and it was a time. Okay, you don't believe Laura, and that's your opinion. So Laura can choose not to believe that David's sick. I don't agree with either one of you. Tiffany, what has she really said directed at David? Now, I know yesterday what she said about your, what I didn't know you had to have a dying kid to do a GoFundMe. Is that gross? Fuck yeah, it's gross. Number one, I don't believe for 1 minute that David is dying. I believe David is fighting, and I believe David's going to beat this shit. I have to look at things like that. That's the way I look at things until I can't. All right, enjoy your day, or try to enjoy your day, Tiffany, and know that prayers are coming for you and David. But again, Tiffany chooses to believe that Laura faked cancer. Well, then people can also believe that Alicia faked cancer. At the end, what is the outcome? What is the end? What is the end game? Believing that someone faked cancer. I see no more proof from Alicia than I ever saw from Laura. Alicia put her shit out and I saw Laura's shit. I believe they both had cancer. I don't believe Alicia's was worse than Laura's. I don't believe Laura's was worse than Alicia's. Tiffany, Don Marie says Tiffany is good people, period. Okay. Good people do bad things sometimes. Bad people do bad things all the time. But once in a while, they might slide in a good thing. Yes, Laura is a liar, but she didn't lie about cancer. I saw the shit. I just think the whole, it's just like Alicia accusing me of using my brother's cancer to try to top her cancer. Are you kidding me, Alicia? I had a doctor come in and tell my brother, without treatment, you have 2 weeks to live. With treatment, maybe 6 months. He lived 6 months. There's a big difference between terminal cancer and treatable cancer. Two things can be true. Thank you, Cosmic. Yes, Lacey, of course. Continue to pray for David and everyone fighting this shit. Well, I'm not going to question it because I saw the proof. And therefore, I'm not going to question it. Tiffany says, I see every person in chat with prayers for David, and it means the world. We need them more than anything in this world. I see and appreciate each prayer. Don't want anyone to think I'm being rude. Even if you were being rude, Tiffany, even if you were, I'm not saying you are, but even if you were, you and David and everyone who loves that young man is deserving of prayers and good thoughts and positivity in your life. Hey, Copy Chat. Damn. Damn, ain't seen you in a long time, Copy Chat. If Tiffany was one of the worst people on the internet, I mean, let's just say she was like one of the most horrible people on the internet. And I don't believe that for 1 minute because since I quit dabbling so much in our community and started dabbling in other communities, I've come across some really, really horrible people. Thank you, Renee. But let's just say Tiffany's just like one of the worst on the internet. She's still deserving of prayers and most certainly her son is. I feel the same way about Laura. I can't help it. No, I got to be honest with you. I didn't say last night when I laid my head on my pillow to say my prayers, I didn't say, God, please ease Sage's heartache because I just don't see where it's comparable. I just don't. I'm not saying it doesn't mean as much to Laura, but I just don't see someone having a broken heart in a marriage I don't see it. Some things are comparable. In my opinion, those are not one of them. Do I hope that Sage moves on and finds a better person in her life? Of course I do. Why wouldn't I? Yes, no matter what, David is going to heal. And anyone who knows Tiffany knows she's a damn good mother. Yes. That's what it's always been. All the other things set aside. Yes, Brantley. Amen. I'm pinning that if I figure it out. Now watch, I'll hit a button and probably end my live, but that'd be okay too. No, I don't want to ban him. I don't want to delete it. I'm not pinning anything because I will mess it up. Yes, the wedding is off. Hence why Laura talked about starting a GoFundMe to raise money to take her daughter to Las Vegas to help her move on from her heartache, who I could give two shits less whether Laura raises money for to take her daughter to Las Vegas to ease her heartache from a wedding that's been canceled, a relationship broken. But then Laura questions other people's fundraising, and it's like, what a hypocrite. Right. It's sad, but it's not being sickened with cancer sad. I didn't hear that, Tiffany, because I don't listen to everything Laura says, but I can definitely I can definitely say it wouldn't shock me. I mean, it wouldn't shock me. I mean, she questions everybody's fundraisers on here. I'm never going to question, I don't care that Laura wants to raise money for that. I don't care. But by the same token, I'm not going to sit and say, that Tiffany doesn't have a right to or question. I'm just not like that, you all. I just don't roll like that. I mean, if I had a $20 bill and God came down and said, you must give to one of these two causes, you must give to Laura to go to Vegas to help ease her daughter's heartache, or you must give to Tiffany to go to David so that Tiffany can stay in a hotel or gas or whatever it requires so that Tiffany can be with her son while he's battling cancer. I can tell you hands down, I'm going to look at God and I'm going to say, no problem, God. I'm giving it to Tiffany. That's me. Because in my opinion, there is no comparison. It doesn't mean that Laura and them aren't feeling their heartache and everything. And Tiffany said all this yesterday in her live. Hey, Scout. There's things in life called priorities. I mean, I don't know. There's things in life called priorities. And someone's life, anyone's life, when it comes to an illness like cancer, like a disease like cancer, takes priority over a broken wedding. I don't know. Am I crazy? Am I crazy? Am I crazy? You're right, Tiffany. Money won't cure him. God will. Uh, There is no exactly, Stellar. There's no amount of money. You know, if money could cure cancer, my mom would still be alive today because we were prepared to buy it off. You know, it couldn't, it didn't. If money could cure cancer, my brother would be alive today. If money could cure cancer, David would be over it. He would be home, cancer free, going back to work and living the young life that he deserves. And that I know someday, hopefully sooner than later, but he's going to get to live again. Hey, Ash. I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, call me crazy, but I can obviously see when two things can be true at one time. And that's what I couldn't, back in the cancer wars between Laura and Alicia, I couldn't make heads or tails out of because people kept feeling the need to pick a side, pick Laura, pick Alicia. And I was like, why are you picking a side in a cancer battle when two things are true at once? Alicia has it. She's at a different stage in her journey with it than Laura has it. Laura, accused Alicia of lying about her cancer. Alicia has accused Laura of lying about hers. I mean, that's a wash. I saw proof of Alicia's and I saw proof of Laura's. So I'm just going to stay right here on the two things can be true at once. They both had cancer and they both survived it. Thank God. Laura wants to sit and say, well, Tiffany questions my cancer. Well, Tiffany's got every right to do that. I can tell you that Tiffany's wrong, but Tiffany's got every right to do that, I guess. I mean, she can do that if she wants. Um, by the same token, people can question Alicia's, I guess. I choose not to. I'm not going to question Alicia's or Laura's. I'm definitely not going to question David's. And trust and believe, if I ever come on here and say my cancer is back, don't question me. I wouldn't lie about something like that. I hope I never have to do that, but I get my scans again soon. I'm kind of like a little nervous, but it's always nerve wracking. But at least I'm old. I'm older. I'm 60. That's not old, but I'm older. And I can honestly say that I could handle me having cancer again more than I can a young man like David. I just can. It just makes more sense in my mind. We shouldn't even have to have this conversation, but it's YouTube. Yep. And Tiffany has the right to believe whatever she wants to believe. I have no intentions on forwarding Laura's information to Tiffany. That's not my place. I'm not going to do that. Just like I wouldn't forward Alicia's to Laura. How many times has Laura got up here and pointed the finger and said somebody was lying? It happens. I'm just not going to participate in it. I'm not getting back into cancer wars. I'll continue to pray for everybody. So what do y'all think? What do y'all think of the idea of setting up an old reunion of per se? I am no longer banned from trolling Randy's chat. Tiffany doesn't know Laura any better than I do, Brantley. Tiffany does not know Laura on a level that I don't know her. Damn, it has been 2 hours. My chicken isn't thawed yet. Which I don't even know what I'm going to do with the chicken. I know that's a small problem in a world full of big ones, but I thawed out chicken and I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I know a handful. Cosmic, Hey, is Mags in here? I saw somebody say, "Hey, Mags." Oh, Maggie. I thought you meant my sub Mags. I love Mags. I love Maggie too. Come here, girl. You know, the last couple of times that she's been groomed, like I said, man, I'm not bragging. I'm like crying. It costs 100. Hey, RJP. It costs like $150 to get this dog groomed. Now, she's kind of a foo-foo dog, okay? She's big. She's over 100 pounds, but she's still a foo-foo dog. And she is a doodle. And I want her face to have the doodle look. And they keep shaving her nose down so close that her nose, she has a very long snout. And I don't want that. I want the the round looking. They're shaving her nose way too low. So once again, I'm gonna send them another picture and say, "Hey, can we leave this dog's nose alone?" When I say shaving her nose, I don't mean like shave. You know what I'm saying? Come here, Mags. Come here. Let me kick you. Don't kick me, Mom. That hurts. You don't kick the puppies. Well, she's a ragamuffin right now. But I love her when she's long and shaggy like that. I love that look, the long, shaggy look. It's just so hard to keep up with, especially now that it's fall. You know those little helicopter things that fall from the trees? Those get stuck in her tail, they get stuck in her fur. And trying to brush her is like trying to brush a freaking bobcat. You know, it's worth every penny to have a total stranger that if she pulls a stunt that I will never have to see again, groom her. Plus, she comes home and she smells so good. And you know what really irks my ass? Another thing that really chaps my ass in a world full of problems. Maggie and Sam go to the groomer at the same time. Now, Sam's about 165, 175 pound mastiff, English mastiff. And he goes and he gets like the de-shedding and bathed and his nails done. He doesn't get like trimmers taken to him like Maggie does. But he comes home and he smells good and it really cuts down on the shedding. Maggie doesn't shed. Yeah, it's a big dog. Maggie's about a buck 04. So she's a big dog too. But they always put bandanas on them. And Sam always gets the best bandana. It's like Maggie is like the stepchild in the groomer. I, I swear. I mean, Maggie comes home smelling girly and Sam comes home smelling manly. So they do use the right perfumes. But Sam always gets the best bandana. CPS, Laura CPS can go to hell. Probably. That'll probably happen. Although Laura doesn't believe in hell, but yeah, that'll probably happen. Your wish may come true. Who knows? I guess it could come true for any of us. But yeah, Sam always gets the best bandana, and I'm like, I don't know. Just like the Halloween ones they put on them the last time. Maggie got one with pumpkins on it, and Sam got one out of this cool looking plaid print. It was just a really cool plaid print, kind of like Burberry, or it reminded me of like Burberry cologne or something. Something, I don't know why Burberry reminds me of plaid. Is it plaid? Oh, a Great Pyrenees. Yep, they're big dogs. They need that undercoat taken out every once in a while too. They some shedding dogs. But yeah, here comes Maggie bebopping in a pumpkin bandana, and Sam has on this very cool looking plaid. Oh, it just irked my ass, but it is what it is. What proof? What are you talking about, Fawn? Proof that Maggie gets gypped on the bandanas? I'll take a picture of them tomorrow. What are you talking about? Fawn must be behind. We're talking about dogs' bandanas at this point. Maybe Fawn's a little behind in chat. You know, I don't have some big streamer set up, so I might be lagging. I don't know. I will. I will show the proof tomorrow. I will take a picture of both of them after they get home from the groomer tomorrow, because I've already taken their bandana off from the last groomer, the last groom they had. Their bandanas never last the whole 6 weeks because Sam drools. But I will take a picture of both of them tomorrow, and I will guarantee you that Sam will have the better bandana. I mean, they dress Maggie like she's in kindergarten. I mean, she's 4. She has graduated past pumpkins and Play-Doh. But yeah, I'll put the proof up. All right, guys. I have been on, thanks to, I think it was Speak Truth who reminded me that I've been live for 2 hours, and Speak Truth knows that I never, ever go live for 2 hours. But I did want to let you all know that 2 things can be true at once around here. You don't have to always pick a side. If both people are wrong about something, you can simply say, you're wrong, and you're wrong too. If I'm wrong, you don't have to be on my side. You can leave me a comment. Hell, you can hit me up. Yeah, it's like pumpkin and Play-Doh. Yeah, she's way beyond. She's such a mature lady now. She'll be 4 in January. I want to see her come home with a Gucci bandana or something, not fucking coloring crayons. 2 things don't make it right. Yeah, look at NASCAR. Yes, always pray. Prayers go out for David, Tiffany Marie, her family, everybody who loves David. I know grandparents, they suffer this too. They suffer that, they suffer through these times too. So prayers go out to anybody who is currently going through that disease. Congratulations to those who have conquered it. Um, you know, nothing would please me more than to turn the news on tomorrow and it be there that all forms of cancer has been you know wiped off. No one would ever have to worry about cancer ever again. There would be a shot invented to give newborns to prevent them from ever having cancer. I mean, that would be great, but that's not the world we live in. The world we live in is, no matter how you feel about somebody, no matter how wrong they are, no matter what comes out of their mouth, no matter what they say, you can still have compassion for them. Truth, we need refunds, return funds then to the NIH. Truth, we need to return funds then to the NIH. What the hell is that? Hey, Stellar, don't be hitting me up for money right now. Hey, critters, because let me tell you what I did. because I'm so bored with YouTube. I'm bored with our community. I'm bored with the LCU, the Keemstar, and all that shit over there, that I decided to download an app called Whatnot. And you go on there and you type in what you're interested in. Well, I'm interested in perfumes and getting a good deal on a very expensive perfume. And what you do is you enter bids. You swipe your screen and you bid on it. Well, dummy me couldn't even tell if I was even a part of the stream. And a bottle of perfume goes up that I don't really want. But I thought, all right, I'm going to bid on it because someone will outbid me. Right, Sunnyside, get on that. Go hit up Wendy V and I'll hit up Diane. But I thought for sure somebody would outbid me. Oh, minding my own. It's addicting. But stupid me, I guess I just wanted to see my name on the screen. And I swiped and I won. And I'm like, motherfucker, I don't need that bottle of perfume. I don't have the money for that bottle of perfume. It clearly says right there, no refunds. So someone for Christmas is probably going to get a very expensive bottle of perfume, and they're going to look at me and say, did you steal this? Because they know I would never give them. I don't have the means to give somebody a $300 or $400 bottle of perfume, which I did not pay that much for. That's retail price, because I went and looked it up. As soon as my bid went through and it popped up on the screen, you won, I was like, fuck. I didn't want to win. I just wanted to see if my thing lit up. Yes, say no to perfume. So I've now learned to keep my finger off of the swipe button, because someone for Christmas is going to get a very expensive bottle of perfume. I think it's Versace. Something made by Versace. Who makes Black Orchid? Is that Versace? I know it's not Jimmy Choo. It doesn't matter. I'm now the proud owner of a very expensive bottle of perfume, and I don't go anywhere. I I I don't leave the house. I don't go any. No, it wasn't by Tom Ford. I actually got me a little bottle of Tom Ford vanilla sex. And I really like Tom Ford Lost Cherry. But I didn't even wait to bid on something like that. I just was doing it for shits and giggles, thinking that I'm definitely going to get outbid here. And I didn't. So I won it. So I don't know who'll get it, but whatever. It wasn't Tom Ford, but I do like Tom Ford scents. But maybe Tom Ford is the one that makes Black Orchid. I don't know. I did get me an itty bitty teeny bottle of Tom Ford vanilla sex, and I love the black cherry. Or not black cherry, but lost cherry. But I ain't buying it. I ain't buying it. So y'all heard my fuck up of the week. It's not like I don't make them a lot. But that one kind of stung. Yeah, I'll smell pretty, hopefully. Well, I don't know. I don't even want to unwrap it. I might take it out on the street corner and sell it for $5 cheaper than I paid for it, which was not the retail price. It was like a $400 bottle of perfume. But I still should not have swiped, but I did. And lesson learned. Mrs. Dior, Miss Dior. I love perfume. I love perfume. Like I have a whole shelf in my bedroom that's nothing but perfume. Even though I don't wear it, I don't go anywhere. Oh, Tom Ford makes Black Orchid. Ooh. Well, maybe that's what I'm getting. I don't know. You get video receipts. I'll have to go back and watch the video of when my name popped up on the screen. And it's not even my real name, it's the truth. So it comes in the mail, the truth. And because our address has like a half sign on it, even though it's a whole house, it wouldn't accept the one half. So now it goes to the neighbor's house, which we know very well. Oh, I love I Am Trash perfume. But I literally had to go and knock on the neighbor's door and say, hey, if you get a package that the name on it is the truth, it's me. How embarrassing. But I had to. I asked my brother to do it for me because he knows them better than I do. I was like, man, would you go over and tell Mickey and them that they might get a package that has the name The Truth on it? Could you let them know that it's me and like let me know because I really want the perfume that I didn't want. But no, he wouldn't do it. So I was like, motherfucker. So I had to do it. And welcome to a day in my life. Oh, I could write a book on goofy shit that goes on in my world. Prefer that people don't wear perfume. Now, I don't want anybody bathing in it, but I like me some perfume, speak truth. But when I worked in the casino business, I had to be very cautious about wearing perfume because you work in such a close environment with other people, and there's people that just, right, Angela, I know. I know, critters, I know. But I love perfume. I do. My preferred way of wearing perfume is once I get out of the shower, I lotion down, I spray my perfume on then. And then I do my hair, I do my makeup. Well, I do my makeup, then I do my hair. And then when I finally get dressed, I don't put perfume on my clothes. Not to say I never have, I just don't. It's not my way of doing it. Ooh, Michelle got a $5 bottle of Taylor Swift that's worth 600 now. Damn. Good for you. Score. Score. But like I said, I could write a book with the shit that goes on in my world that has and does. But you know what? With everything that goes on in the world, my problems are minimal. And again, keep Tiffany and David and their family in your prayers. And I just know this young man is going to beat this, you know. Um, and remember, two things can be true at once. I can be a bitch and I can speak the truth. Two things true at once. I like smelling good too, Sunnyside. I'm with Sunnyside on this one. I'm anti speak truth with love on this one. I'm pro Sunnyside. But I am going to get off here. I'm going to figure out something to do with my chicken. Maybe I'll go watch one of Critter's videos because she's always cooking and see what she does with her chicken. But yeah, I'm glad you guys came in. Thank you for the support. This is not throwing real shade at anybody. I haven't uncovered any big secrets on here. Um, Laura says repulsive things. Tiffany Marie has said repulsive things in the past. Haven't heard her say anything repulsive lately. Two things can be true at once. Is what it is. Just keep your prayers going for David. and enjoy the rest of your weekend and the beginning of your week. Because not only is Maggie getting groomed, ooh, chicken and dumpling soup. Not only is Maggie getting groomed tomorrow, I have a grooming appointment. But mine costs $22.50 plus a tip, and Maggie is $1.50 plus a tip. But she's worth every penny of it. And she actually goes out in the yard and shit. I don't even do that. So, she's got to look good for the neighbors. All right, guys, I'm off here. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Be nice. If you can't be nice, just be nice being a dick. Be a nice dick. I don't know. All right. See you around the tubes.